Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to read you something that you're going to love. You're going to absolutely love this so much. This is in the New York Times. Oh, the most amazing, esteemed, renowned publication in the entire country. Oh my goodness, it's going to be so good. You're going to absolutely love it, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's see here. Let's see if I can find this article that you're going to love. Yes, you're going to love it. What can I tell you? Okay. All right. It is by a brilliant journalist, Trump, unrepentant and unleashed. Oh. The diabolical duo of Donald and Mitch. Yes! 5 million people lifted out of poverty. 6 million jobs created. Record low unemployment. Record low Black and Latino unemployment. The unemployment rate for Hispanic and Latino men is below the United States national average. First president to step foot in North Korea. To begin détente between North and South Korea, to begin communication, to begin some kind of formal dialogue between North and South Korea. President Moon Jae-in stated that President Trump deserved the Nobel Peace Prize. Oh my goodness, the diabolical duo. I love it so much. Oh, I love it. Let's continue. Washington during a meeting with Donald Trump at Trump Tower in June of 2016 with the opera buffet builder. The opera buffet builder? What? Improbably heading towards the nomination despite a skeletal campaign crew on a floor below. I asked when he would pivot. We all assumed he would have to pivot, that he would have to stop his belittling Twitter rants. Why would you assume that? Why would the New York Times assume that? He won because he was able to communicate when the entire media was after him. Why would you assume that he wouldn't utilize social media? Social media generally, I think, stinks. But for Trump, it's actually, he leads people to exactly where he wants them to be led. So I think that it's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. Thank you, Smurfherder. Thank you. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. So he would have to cease attacking fellow Republicans like John McCain. Why would he cease to attack? They attack him. John McCain actually spread the Steele dossier. That he would have to get more in line with traditional stances of his party, like not doing things they say they promise, those stances. That he would have to be less of a barbarian at the gates of D.C. That's exactly why he won. Because he is a barbarian at the gates of D.C. This is the New York Times, by the way. He crossed his arms. He pursed his lips. And shook his head. A child refusing vegetables. A child refusing vegetables. It's okay, the economy is actually the best job market in a generation. He's doing something. Well. I guess if he's eating Big Macs and cheeseburgers instead of vegetables, they're still working. Oh, he didn't destroy a country like Democrats did. We came, we saw. How naive he was, I thought to myself. But I was the naive one. Trump has forced the world to pivot to him. Oh yeah, baby, I love it. Trump has forced Trump has forced the world to pivot to him? Trump has forced the world to pivot to him. What does that even mean? Oh my God almighty. Trump has forced the world to pivot to him. So it's really, really interesting. Like, if you look at the New York Times, and it's like they're so condescending to President Trump. The State of the Union is upside down and inside out. And sauerkraut. Oh my God, this is hilarious. I'm not making this up. This is actually, I know it sounds like, but no, I'm not making this up. The State of the Union is upside down and inside out and sauerkraut. That's why people vote for Trump. Because they want the Democratic Party and Republican establishment's version of the country inside out and upside down and sauerkraut. He's doing a great job. 300,000 plus manufacturing jobs, 300,000 lost under President Obama. President Obama drank Flint water and said it wasn't poisonous. And he said it was good to drink. Deceiving people. Deliberately deceiving people. So, it's like, right now, in Libya right now, there's chaos, absolute catastrophe, and that's actually viewed as normal. That's actually viewed as normal to the establishment. Let's continue. The State of the Union is upside down and inside out and sauerkraut. Trump has changed literally everything in the last 3 years, transforming and corseting the game. Good, fantastic. On Friday night, he became arguably the most brutishly powerful Republican of all time. Yeah, I love it. Never has a leader had such a stranglehold on his party, subsuming it with one gulp. Oh my God. What do you want? You want them to remove the president because Democrats don't like a phone conversation? Adam Bond 3458. Thank you so very much. Adam Bond 3458. Thank you. Thank you, Adam Bond 3458. Thank you. As the Senate voted 51-49 to smother the impeachment inquiry, guided by the dark hand of Mitch McConnell. The dark hand. Nancy, guess who won? Guess who won, Nancy? You mess with the bull, you get the horns. It felt like the world's greatest deliberate body has been hollowed out, diminished. Oh my God, this is a good one. This is a great article. McConnell let Mitt Romney and Susan Collins vote to allow documented witnesses such as John Bolton, knowing two could strain at the leash safely. Knowing two could strain at the leash? Like he's... Oh my God. This is the best. The rest of the senators fell in line as sycophantic clones of Mike Pence. The impeachment trial amounted to one side being earnest and one side pertaining... Earnest? Really? Adam Schiff was earnest? Okay. If it was exactly what Nancy Pelosi feared would happen before she reluctantly drawn into the show trial. Oh my God. They impeached Trump. They didn't even include a criminal act in the impeachment. Quote, now the State of the Union is going to be the Stay Puft the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man coming down the street and standing in the rubble of what's left of Congress. Oh my God! This is the best! The Republican Party has now lost whatever control they could exert over this president. Any oversight they could have. Oh, it wasn't enough that, Paul Ryan did nothing and McCain actually helped spread the dossier that started 3 years. They set up and framed Trump. Now he's going to get retribution. Sorry. That's what happens. You set up and framed Trump. Sorry about that. Oh my God, I love this so much. This is how they view the world. This is actually a great journalist, but she's like speaking on behalf of both She's a conservative well, she used to be, but she's speaking on behalf of both Democrats and Republicans. So much respect to this journalist. She's absolutely fantastic, and I actually agree with her a lot on things, prior to the 2016 election. But now she speaks on behalf of both Democrats and people like Mitt Romney and establishment Republicans. Now the State of the Union is going to be the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man coming down the street and standing in the rubble of what's left of Congress. The Republican Party has now lost whatever control they could exert over this. Oh my God! Look at what he's doing. Record low unemployment, record highs in the stock market. Oh, please stop this. Removing American soldiers from harm's way. Oh my goodness, how could he do that? It's gone. The State of the Union. The State of the Union is there is no union. No, there is a union. There's just not a union in the brains of Democrats. That's all. In the hearts and minds of Democrats, they've lost everything, which is fantastic. How can there be when one side is petrified of their Godzilla? Oh my God, this is the best. How could there be when one side is petrified of their Godzilla? Oh my God. Oh my God. That is absolutely hilarious. That is hilarious. And then they go, Senator Chris Murphy, the Connecticut Democrat, dismissed Republicans as a cult of personality around Trump. No, actually, the cult of personality is around the Democratic Party, the Democratic machine, and especially Hillary Clinton. Trump has withstood an onslaught of James Comey, of the Washington Post, of Hollywood, of Nancy Pelosi, the Democratic Party, media, the intelligence, corrupt intelligence officials. I mean, they converged around Trump. They tried to undermine him at every turn. They tried to set him up and frame him. Not one thing, not one issue pertaining to a 3-year investigation, not one pertaining to the Mueller probe, was included within the articles of impeachment. Not one. The articles of impeachment didn't even list a crime. This is hilarious. Articles of impeachment didn't even list a crime. And bomb 31458. Paul Ryan and Mitt Romney, two golden boys who unmasked themselves. They didn't even have to do it. In some ways, they panicked. I agree. Adam bomb 31458. I agree with you. And they didn't have to do it, but the allure of media is intoxicating. They felt, Adam bomb 31458. They felt that they would get favorable treatment from the media. That they would be viewed as heroic among Democrats and media. And so the political calculus was, well, Paul Ryan, he was around when it was politically expedient for establishment Republicans to just say, well, Trump will need us if he actually did work with Russia. So they were duplicitous, insidious, everything horrible. They all set up and framed Trump. I have to give it up to Donald Trump. He's the only person in American history who could have withstood all of this because he came into the White House with his own brand. He came into the White House with his own persona, his own brand. Hollywood was after him. He already conquered Hollywood. He had The Apprentice. Politicians were after him. He had already given money to both Clinton and Republicans, so he knew all of them. The intelligence community was after him. They had nothing on him, so he didn't have to worry about it. And he was the president. He won. So the intelligence community falls under the executive branch. That's what That's what they didn't get. Adam on 31458, I agree with you. And that's what they didn't get. That's what they didn't understand. So here you go. This trial, in so many ways, crystallized the completely diametrically opposed threats that Democrats and Republicans see to the country. Well, no, Democrats only see things from the vantage point of whether or not they can win. Republicans actually have policies that they're all united around. Democrats, not so much. We perceive Donald Trump and his corruption. What corruption? You didn't even include an illegal act, a crime within the articles of impeachment. What corruption? If he's so corrupt, include a crime. There is a litany of legal statutes Clinton broke, U.S. Code 793F being one of them. Where is the criminal statute? Pick a crime. Any crime. Pick a crime. Any crime. They didn't even include anything, not only anything to do with the Mueller probe, but they include nothing to do in terms of a criminal act. Even if they were able to prove that Trump withheld military assistance, it still wasn't a criminal act. We perceive Donald Trump and his corruption to be an existential threat to the country. Yeah, right. Democrats are an existential threat, not Trump. Not Trump. They perceive the deep state and the liberal media to be an existential threat to the country. No, not really. Corrupt intelligence officials they've already been weeded out generally. And John Durham and William Barr are after them, so. Liberal media, no. They'll flip just like that same liberal media was embracing the Bush administration. So media just, they embrace political influence and power. Donnie Chappelle, thank you very, very, very much. Thank you, Donnie. Thank you, Donnie Chappelle. Enjoy Super Bowl Sunday. And thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. Thank you, Donnie Chappelle. Thank you, Adam on 3458. Thank you. It's unbelievable, Donnie, and everyone here. Adam on 31458. It's unbelievable how they don't understand. And you saw this on CNN. They have to paint Trump voters as backwards people. They have to paint Trump as this despot. Because if they don't disparage me, if they don't disparage you, if they don't disparage President Trump, then they're forced to look into the mirror. Everyone must fall in line. Everyone must obey their view of how a person should vote. Democrats are they're narcissists. They have to believe they impose their own prejudices upon everyone else. They impose their own biases upon everyone else. And everyone must adhere. Everyone must adhere. On the left, that is. Not me or you, but everyone on the left must adhere to their vantage point. And here, in the establishment Republicans, the same, because the person writing this great journalist, but an establishment kind of Republican. So that dichotomy, that contrast has been growing over the last 3 years. But this trial really crystallized the differences. We were just speaking different languages, fundamentally different languages. You tried to say that he withheld assistance because he was afraid of Biden. Biden doesn't even want to run. It's going to be Hillary Clinton who's going to be the nominee. It's easy. If Clinton doesn't become nominee, which she will, I will literally go to Milwaukee and picket for Clinton. But she will be the nominee, so I won't have to do that. It's there for the taking, Madam Secretary, any day now. Don't worry about any pushback. You'll crush and decimate any resistance anyway within Democrats. You and Bill, Bubba Bill, control everything anyway. There is no Democratic Party. There is no Democratic Party. The cult of personality is not around Trump. I laugh at things Trump says. I laugh. I think it's hilarious. I don't worship President Trump. I think he's awesome. He's going up against everyone I find to be nefarious. It's hilarious. And they try to create this world where he's this despot and authoritarian, and they're the ones who worship corrupt intelligence officials. They're the ones who want to, who relish the FBI getting people on process crimes. How on earth do we know FBI agents were telling the truth? How on earth do we know Strzok was telling the truth? We already know in their text messages, Strzok, Kleinsmith, all of them, that they couldn't stand Trump. They wanted to go after Trump. Annabomb 31458, thank you. Thank you. Exactly. Clearly clever. Avenatti 2020. They were thinking of Avenatti 2020. Annabomb 31458, thank you. But it's like this. They don't understand that. See, they cannot humanize me and you. They cannot look at, and I don't care what background, what color, what religion, what ethnicity. If you vote Trump, you've engaged in blasphemy. You're a blasphemer. You're a heretic. Heresy. You must vote a certain way. You must think a certain way. If you don't, then you fall into the MSNBC, CNN, Washington Post, New York Times, Democratic establishment, the Republican establishment that actually thinks this way is small and insignificant. But you fall into the Jimmy Kimmel and Seth Meyer and Bill Maher and Robert De Niro in Hollywood and Washington Post columnist type of paradigm. You are the person who just doesn't know enough not to vote for Trump, even though the economy is great and he has a foreign policy that is a million times better than Bush and President Obama's foreign policy. So, record low unemployment, record highs in the stock market, and their lives are ruined every day, Democrats. They thought it was about, okay, I feel like I've spent my whole career watching the same depressing dynamic that unfolded Friday night. Democrats trying, sometimes ineptly, to play fair, and Republicans ruthlessly trying to win? What? It was the other way around, actually. Democrats played fair? What, with an intelligence operative that met with Adam Schiff's staff and actually worked at one point with Biden? Anthony Andrea. Thank you again, Donnie Chappelle. Thank you, Donnie. Anthony Andrea. What would happen if Bolton spoke out publicly? Oh my God, he would get eviscerated because he knows he has nothing. Bolton is publishing a salacious version of his memory of the events. Can he be prosecuted? I think he could if Anthony the White House tried to stop publication of his book. So the White House said that he had top secret intelligence in his book. So that goes that. Driver Dan, thank you very, very much. Greatly appreciated. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Driver Dan. Thank you. Anthony, yeah, I don't think Bolton has anything. Otherwise, they would have already interviewed him. The issue with Bolton is that they already Bolton exists. First of all, he loved Brexit. So the thing with Bolton is like he's a pretty hardcore Republican, but in a different way than Trump. Much different, although they share certain interests or certain ideas together. But Yeah, Anthony Andrea and Driver Dan. I don't think, and Donnie Chappelle. I don't think Bolton has anything. He doesn't have anything. He's on record as saying. He is on record as saying the conversation was warm and cordial. I mean, my God. Can you believe it? Warm and cordial, the conversation was. So let's continue. This is hilarious. I feel like I've spent my career watching the same depressing dynamic that unspooled Friday night. Democrats trying, sometimes ineptly, to play fair. Yeah, right. They didn't even include a criminal act. It's all their opinion. And Republicans ruthlessly trying to win. What did you expect them to do? Remove Trump based on hearsay and gossip? The guy didn't even commit a crime. I watched it with the Anita Hill, Clarence Thomas hearings. I watched it in 2000 recount with Bush versus Gore. Well, those are two different things. I watched it with the push by Cheney Rumsfeld to go, okay, yeah, don't say Cheney Rumsfeld without saying Clinton and Biden and Kerry. Don't ever bring up Cheney and Rumsfeld. Don't ever bring up Cheney and Rumsfeld without bringing up Kerry and Clinton and Biden and every other establishment Democrat. Don't ever bring up Cheney and Rumsfeld without them. Let me tell you something. If Clinton had stood up, and I give Bernie Sanders a great deal of credit, because he voted against Bush's foreign policy. But if Clinton had stood up at that moment and made a name for herself, she would have become president. I really believe she would have become president. But oh my God, the calculation, the clinical, just devoid of any humanity, the clinical duplicity, waiting at the, always trying to bend the law and bend rules and shit. I mean, there were people during Travelgate. There was a thing called Travelgate that they said, well, she should have been indicted then. I mean, you're talking about somebody who's bent the rules and laws her entire life. And do you think she's going to stop now? Clinton will become the nominee. And you know what? Honestly, and I say this it's very bizarre of me to say, I have more respect for Clinton than I do even Bernie Sanders, and I'll tell you why. I have more respect for Hillary Clinton than I do Bernie Sanders. I'll tell you why. Because Clinton fights. I want fighters in politics, even if I don't like them. I want fighters. Robert A. Do you think Adam Schiff will be held accountable for his lies? Unfortunately, Robert A., no. I unfortunately, no. Well, I'll tell you why. There are too many establishment Republicans, Susan Collins, Mitt Romney. There are too many people who will back up Schiff. Not when I say back up Schiff, there are too many people who will say, well, we can't prove anything with Schiff. He was just, towing the party line. Robert A., I don't think so. I don't think so, because he's more of a public relations person. He's the person they trot out, generally. They tried it with other people like Franken and Avenatti and, But I don't think so, Robert A., unfortunately. Democrats are warning Republicans that they will be judged harshly by history. You know what? Democrats don't have a grasp of history. They've tried to recreate the Cold War, recreate McCarthy-era Red Scare tactics. They have zero grasp of history. And if Trump goes 8 years, guess who's going to write history? And this generation, by the way, young people 19 to 25 are the most conservative in generations. So let's not talk about history, Democrats. But in the meantime, triumphant Republicans get to make history. That's right. And a lot of that history that Republicans have made is frightening. The endless, futile wars. What? Democrats? Are you kidding me? Max Boot and Bill Kristol are voting Democrat. The obliviousness to climate change. Oh, you mean like President Obama presiding over the largest expansion of domestic oil and gas production, and AOC only passing a Green New Deal resolution, not legislation? They talk a big game. Why don't you pass some legislation? Oh, that's right, because you would lose elections. Because you don't have any legislation to pass. Shelley, thank you. Democrats don't have any legislation to pass. Democrats are warning. Okay, and then a lot of history of stamp on judiciary. As Carl Hughes wrote in his book Confirmation Bias about the Garland fiasco, quote, the success in naming judges was the signal achievement of Trump's first 2 years. In the coming years, those judges will be among the members of the federal bench called to rule on Trump's policies and practices in cases arising from challenges initiating by increasingly confrontational Democrats. Mitch McConnell made a snap decision one night in 2016. The consequences will reverberate for decades. Wrong. Actually, it was Harry Reid, the pirate Harry Reid, who stated he changed the Senate rules from a supermajority to a simple majority. And they lost again. They lost again. You wouldn't have had the two Supreme Court nominees Trump picked. They would not have been as conservative had the wonderful Harry Reid and Democrats not made voting on Supreme Court nominees a simple majority. And guess who told them they would regret their decision? Mitch McConnell. Schumer, I just think you're going to regret voting on a simple majority. Oh, well, go ahead. Trumpy might win. Oh, that's right, Trumpy won. Oh, well. We get to win now. For hours on Friday, House managers made their vain final arguments, pressing for Bolton's testimony. Val Demings implored Republican senators, aren't you worried that if left in office, Trump will harm America's national security? What? Really? You mean private servers with top secret intelligence and absolutely destroying a country in Libya didn't harm national security enough? Under Democrats? Seek to corrupt the upcoming election. Corrupt the election? You mean Democrats losing because of their own corruption? And undermine our democracy to further his own personal gain? What personal gain? He's losing money. You think he's making money as president? No, he's not making money as president. Ha 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 ha! Clearly clever. Who cares about John Bolton? Let's get Michael Bolton up on Capitol Hill and get this party started. Yeah! Michael Bolton. That's right. Yeah. Ryan, thank you. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. Clearly clever. I love it. Michael Bolton. The man. Michael Bolton is the man. Michael Bolton is definitely the man. Yes. Yes. For hours on Friday, okay, pressing Bolton's testimony. Aren't you worried? The left is armed national security. National security is subjective. You know, it's unbelievable. Actually, this is really true. Different presidents have different views of national security and foreign policy. Yeah. Too bad. Too bad. Clinton lost. She'll lose again. It ain't going to be Biden. No, Biden. No, Biden. Nobody. Ain't going to be Bernie. No, Bernie. No, Bernie. Ain't going to be Warren or Klobuchar. Klobuchar eats salad with a comb. Ain't going to be Klobuchar. Ain't going to be Klobuchar. Yeah. It'll be Clinton again. She'll be like, you want me? What? Okay, fine. It'll be a brokered convention. It'll be after Super Tuesday. I don't care. People are like, it's too late. It's too late. How do you know it's too late? They gave you the memo. The DNC told you. You don't know, H.A. H.A. Badman. It's too late, okay? It's too late. Says who? Says you? What do you know? It's too late. She missed the filing date. She doesn't care about the filing date. She doesn't care about anything. She used a private server with top secret intel for 4 years. You think she cares about paperwork? It's too late. She said she wasn't going to. She's in the news every single day. Why would she stop? She's more in the news. She's more in the news than Bernie is. Do you know what Bernie's doing at this moment? He's in the Senate. She's going to be nominee. Bernie's not going to be nominee. Clinton will be nominee. Biden won't be nominee. Clinton will be nominee. And that's it. I don't care how it happens. It will. So don't you want to hear the witnesses and see the documents? We'll give a full story and make this a fair trial rather than a mock one. Well, yeah, there's no accusation of criminal behavior, so, well, too bad. This is the American way, and this is the American story. But, of course, they didn't want that. As he voted against witnesses and documents, Lamar Alexander, McConnell's pal, said Trump did something inappropriate, but they just did not accept that it was impeachable. And they did not want to tear up ballots and pour gasoline on cultural fires that are burning out there. So why not shut it down and cover it up? The books were cooked from the start. Oh, yeah. They couldn't even prove anything. Now it's time to look at why Joe Biden fired a prosecutor, which he shouldn't have fired. And he wasn't given the authority to do so. And with so many other pivotal moments in modern history, Republicans wanted to win, not look for the truth. The truth? Really? Where's the truth behind Hunter Biden being on the board of directors of Burisma? You think maybe they were smart enough to say, let's get Hunter on the board so we can influence Joe? Oh, I know. That would never happen because, the Democrats' peers are driven. No. And history, God help us, is written by the winners. That's right. That's right. Yes, Hillary's running. Hillary's not only running, who do you think's going to be nominee? Biden? Come on. Biden's not going to be nominee. Come on. Kay Meadows, exactly. So there you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Exactly. David Von Kettering, exactly. Let's see here. There's another great article. Oh my God, please don't click on it, H.A. Badman. Don't. Okay, I clicked on it. A dishonorable Senate. They want me to buy the subscription? Yeah, right. Never. Well, at least I had my fun with one of their articles. Oh my goodness. Eric H526, thank you. So, let's see. Let's see what else is going on here. Trump. He's an orange man, Trump. Trump. Top Democrats fume. They're always fuming. What? Nancy Pelosi? It's sad for Mitch McConnell to humiliate Chief Justice John Roberts with witness vote. No, that was Elizabeth Warren, who literally asked Roberts what he's doing there. He's like, well, if you're not going to help us, why are you even here? That's actually what Elizabeth Warren said. Elizabeth Warren said this to John Roberts. John Roberts is like there reading. This poor guy, like the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, has been reduced to reading little note cards. He's like, well, why didn't you want to listen to Bolton? Well, doesn't Bolton have a lot of information? Huh? Okay, you guys talk it out. I love also, like, if you watch the trial, it's kind of hilarious because they would always they would always include little like insults in like the note cards, like why is it that Republicans are always so evil? Signed Democratic representative. Oh, I love that. Phoebe Beach, exactly. He gets the golf game going, and everyone's like, "You've been playing golf 22% of the days you've been in office." Yeah, at record low unemployment. Oh well, too bad. Oh, now there's Justice Department acknowledges 24 emails reveals Trump's thinking on Ukraine. Well, what was President Obama's thinking on Libya? Wondering about that. What was his thinking when he drank Flint water? Just wondering about that. What was Bush's thinking? Did he even think? That's the question. That's the big question. Did Bush even think? He revealed thinking? No. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. I'm running out of steam. You've been all wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I will see you tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Super Bowl Sunday. Super Bowl Sunday. Thank you very much. God bless. To my super chat, thank you very, very much. Have a great, great evening, everyone. Go Chiefs. Go Niners. It's going to be a great game. I have no clue who's going to win. I will say this, though. On paper, the Niners should win, but if the Chiefs win, oh, my God, that'll be historic. I like Mahomes a lot. I think he's great. Give me your thoughts below. Have a great, great evening, everyone. Thank you.